Hello, 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 hello. This is George F. Grundy II, your favorite veteran, and welcome to Out of the Mud. This is the Out of the Mud universe, and I am one of the co-founders of Out of the Mud. And the show that I am putting on right now is going to be Freedom of. So we have this thing called the freedom of speech, and sometimes it doesn't feel like we have that. We have a freedom to say stuff, but true speech and true dialogue to get true results isn't something that seems to be uh, what we use that freedom or that liberty for. So, what I would like to happen with this is that I get people to call in and to send message and challenge to whatever their freedom or their thought of freedom is, so we can speak about those issues as in depth as I can take it, or I can get the audience and others to get involved to take it. I like to get more than surface. I get a little analytical about things, and so that's my thought process: is to get a little deep, get deeper into the constructs and the concepts of this, that, and the third. Yeah, it's here and make sure that the volume is good. So again, this is Freedom of, another show from the Out of the Mud universe. And I'm very appreciative of everyone that is supporting and that is creating the time to listen and watch and share and like and subscribe to everything that Out of the Mud is doing. Um, um, I had a conversation with one of my longest running friends, and he just reminded me that I'm pretty awesome. I'm pretty amazing. Um, I do some pretty amazing things. I create opportunities a lot, but in a lot of senses, it gets a little died down because of maybe the way I think about things, or my mental state of how I think of things. The construct of humility, and not trying to be prideful in how I express the things I do. But I appreciate him for letting me know that, hey, uh, from the outside in, I'm doing a good job, at least from his perspective. I appreciate that. That's one of my oldest brothers, or longest running brothers. I've been trying to get a couple of my folks that I know from around here to come on the show, because they're in town, but they may or may not. We'll see what happens, uh, and get to have some in-depth conversations with them. But what do we have for this show today? I looked up a lot of stuff. I've been up all night like I normally am. It's pretty much the time that I would normally lay down, but I'm here at the studio, and I wanted to put this together, and I just got involved in looking up different opportunities for, grant opportunities for the Veterans Are Now organization, and looking up business opportunities for the Out of the Mud ventures, and so on and such, and then looking up different content to speak about. And there's so much to speak about. That's why I would rather just engage with people, because I get caught up in my own thoughts and in what I perceive as good information, which it is. But however, however, it is what it is. So what am I gonna do? We're gonna do it like this. We're gonna do it like this. And a one and a two. So got that. Let's send that. Let's see what we come up with. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know if that's. No, that's the weather. That's that. I don't think I did it. It was so I was looking at this article about what was going on in New York, and it caused me to want to know what was going on in Michigan, Genesee County specifically. Uh, and that article, I'm trying to find it now. Go back to it. I thought I sent it so I could share it. And let's see what we got going on here. Moments. Give me moments. Give me moments. Say NYC. Let's see what we're going on. I know. I ain't saying nothing. You're just looking at me like I'm weird. But I'm trying to get to it. Dun, 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 dun. That's why I don't like that. So, what the article is saying that the NYC or New York City is paying $53 million to undocumented migrants for a pilot program. And so I was looking into that, trying to see if it was really that sinister, what was going on with that. And I know that I sent it. I just know I did. But I got to find it. If I sent it, I got to find it, right? If I sent it, I got to find it. I don't see it. Don't see it. So I'm gonna try to find it on YouTube. I done lost everybody. Ain't nobody watching. NYC 53. Yeah. Mm-mm. Say New York City to pay $53 million to undocumented migrants in a pilot program. Yeah, here we go. This is a 3-minute, and this was 5 months ago that I got this one. So let's see what we do. Let's go ahead. All right, here we go.
New York City has a new plan to help migrants with the cost of food. It's drawing criticism, I should tell you. Eric Adams' proposal is to give families prepaid credit cards that they can use to buy food or supplies. Texas Governor Greg Abbott slammed the idea, calling it reprehensible. So let's get into it. How does it actually work? National correspondent Axel Tercios is based in New York. Axel, I know this is always playing out right around you. And, there are locals who are very hospitable, others who say, hey, we want resources as well. Can you give us some details of how the plan would work?
Well, Chance, it's mixed emotions around New York City residents, and the mayor's whole plan is to basically replace the already non-perishable food boxes that the city is providing to migrants, single adult migrants and migrant families that are staying in hotels like this, which is the former Roosevelt Hotel here in Midtown Manhattan, which is now serving as the main intake center for all of the migrants that are coming in. And just before I go into details, I want to show you that we can still see some people lining up here, coming for the first time, like Alejandro. I was just talking to Alejandro. He he just arrived from Venezuela. His friend, who is wearing the black hoodie, he was telling me that his state limit at the shelter is about to expire this Friday, as the city right now established this new shelter state limit for 30 days for single adult migrants and 60 days for families. So we are going to keep seeing more people making line here to try to get a spot in one of the city's shelters. So the amount on these prepaid credit cards will depend on the number of members in the family, and also if they're making any income at all during the month. So they will be able to get this prepaid credit card, to buy food at groceries, supermarkets, convenience stores, and the bodegas. So a family of four, for instance, could get up to $1,000. And the mayor says that there are a lot of benefits behind this, because this is going to allow the families to buy food based on their preference and also culturally relevant to their diet.
So that I'm stopping on that, but everybody should have the opportunity to have food, shelter, and a means to make things happen. But illegally, undocumented, that's the question. Is that something that should happen? So what did that cause me to do? That just hearing and seeing that caused me to say, well, what's happening in Genesee County? So Genesee County told me what? I'm going to go where I pulled up the information for Genesee County. Where you at? Where you at? Boom, 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 boom. Still not answering. No, come on, man. Why you keep tripping on me? Not that. All right, let's do this. Can you please repeat all the information you told me about Genesee County and Flint, Michigan, when it comes to immigration and migrants and the population? See what we get here. See what we get.
Sure. Here's a summary of the information about immigration, migrants, and the population in Genesee County and Flint, Michigan. Population trends. Genesee County's overall population declined by 1.6% from 2012 to 2016 to 2017 to 2021, dropping from 413,090 to 406,400. During the same period, the immigrant population in the county increased by 12.9%, from 9,977 to 11,269. Immigrant demographics. As of 2019, 2.6% of Michiganders in Genesee County were immigrants, up from 2.3% in 2000. The immigrant population in Genesee County is diverse, with individuals coming from various regions around the world. Economic contributions. Immigrants in Michigan contribute significantly to the local economy through consumer spending and state and local taxes. Undocumented immigrants in Michigan contribute approximately $86.6 million in state and local taxes annually.
Undocumented.
Challenges.
About 86.
Many
about
immigrants
100
in
million
Michigan face challenges such as lack of health insurance and difficulty paying for medical services. 14.4% of all Michigan immigrants were uninsured in 2017, compared to 6.6% of U.S.-born Michigan residents. If you need more detailed information or have any other questions, feel free to ask.
Yeah, break down the immigrant population by ethnicity and demographic of ethnicity.
Here's a breakdown of the immigrant population in Genesee County and Flint, Michigan by ethnicity and demographic. Genesee County. White 57%. Black or African American 32%. Asian 1%. Other 1%. Two or more races 4%. Hispanic or Latino 5% includes individuals of any race. Flint City. White 34%. Black or African American 57%. Asian 0%. Other 1%. Two or more races 3%. Hispanic or Latino 4% includes individuals of any race. Flint Charter Township. White 35.25%. Black or African American
Interesting.
56.3%. American Indian and Alaska Native 0.46%. Asian 0.52%. Native Hawaiian and other Pacific Islander 0.04%. Other 0.9%. Two or more races 6.52%. These figures provide a snapshot of the ethnic diversity within the immigrant population in these areas. If you need more detailed information or have any other questions, feel free to ask.
Yeah, so I see that you broke it down, and everybody's an immigrant based on what you said, but I'm looking for more of recent numbers on like if Ukrainians, Cubans, Latinos, different immigrants from different countries of late. What's the population or the breakdown of them?
Here's a more detailed breakdown of the recent immigrant population in Genesee County,
Here we
including
go.
Flint, Michigan, by nationality. Top countries of origin 2021. Canada, 969 immigrants, 8.6% of the total immigrant population. India, 951 immigrants, 8.4%.
Who knew?
China, 816 immigrants, 7.2%. Mexico, 663 immigrants,
And this is Genesee
5.9%.
County.
Cuba, 567 immigrants, 5%. Other notable groups. Ukrainians. While specific numbers for Ukrainians weren't detailed in the sources, there has been an increase in Ukrainian immigrants due to recent geopolitical events. Latinos. This group includes immigrants from various Latin American countries, with Mexico being a significant contributor. These figures highlight the diversity within the immigrant population.
Okay. What's the current population of Genesee County?
As of the latest estimates, the population of Genesee County, Michigan is approximately 406,400. If you need more detailed demographic information or
Okay, so those are interesting numbers. You know, everybody deserves the opportunity to have a wonderful life as much as they can make it. But everybody should play by the same rules and that are put up. If the rules are put up, then we all got to play by the same rules. If the rules don't matter, then they don't matter to nobody. You know, and just create anarchy and do what you do. But such is life. It is what it is, and we got to keep moving from there. So the concept is to just have a conversation and bring up information that is interesting to myself, and I hope will be interesting to others. And today is Wednesday the 31st. So for those of you that are headed to work on hump day, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. And it's supposed to be sunny, at least from what I'm seeing, all the way through 11 a.m. That's as far as I'm seeing, unless I go into the further forecast for the rest of the day. Let's see what we have. All right, Bob, we're going to send it to you, Bob. how's the weather? All right, John. Okay, hourly forecast from 7 to 12 p.m. It will be sunny, no rain in sight, 2% to 3% chance of rain. And from noon all the way to 6 p.m., we have a high of 12% chance of rain, partially cloudy around 5 p.m., but it should be clear through the rest of the day. Back to you, John. All right, we appreciate that. All right, so it should be cool. I don't see anything rain Friday, but nothing coming up anytime soon. Um, what I want to do is go to some more things that I was looking up and trying to figure out when it came to information that I was interested in. And again, if you want to call in, it's 248-820-5053, 248-820-5053. Or send a chat, send a message, text some message and let me know if there's something you like to speak about, something you want me to speak about specifically, if you want me to just shut up, what it is. But I appreciate the support that everybody's been giving to Out of the Mud, and the universe is expanding. Let's see, what do I have here? So yeah. Going back. So another thing to look at is, we got a lot of stuff going on here, but what's going on in the rest of the world? There are other places that are dealing with a lot of issues, like in the Congo and Jamaica and the Sudan and things of that nature, and we're not even really paying attention to those things. We don't even understand that our comforts, when it comes to technology, a lot of those comforts come from places like the Congo, with the cobalt and the coltan and all that stuff that comes from there in order to create the technology we need to maintain the devices we have. So let me see. Can you repeat everything about the conflict and resource exploitation? All right.
Sure, here's a summary of the conflicts and resource exploitation in the regions you asked about.
Yeah.
Conflict and resource exploitation in the Congo.
Wow.
Conflict. The Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, has been plagued by conflict, especially in its eastern regions. This conflict involves various armed groups fighting for control over the region's rich mineral resources.
Yeah.
The violence has led to millions of deaths and widespread displacement.
Millions.
Resource exploitation,
deaths.
illegal mining, particularly for cobalt and gold, is rampant. These activities are often controlled by armed groups and involve severe human rights abuses, including child labor. The environmental impact is also significant, with deforestation and pollution affecting local communities.
That's happening
Conflict
right
and
now.
resource exploitation in Sudan.
Right now.
Conflict. The Darfur region of Sudan has experienced genocide since 2003, with the Sudanese government and Janjaweed militia targeting ethnic groups like the Fur, Masalit, and Zaghawa.
Things we don't even pay attention.
This conflict has
that's
resulted
going
in
on
hundreds of
other
thousands of
places.
deaths and millions of displaced people.
Thousands of deaths. millions of
Resource
displaced. You
exploitation.
never hear
While
about
not
it.
as prominent as in the DRC, resource exploitation in Sudan includes issues related to land and water resources, often exacerbating the conflict.
Mhm.
Illegal mining and logging. Congo, illegal logging and mining are major issues. Illegal
even hear
logging
about it.
contributes to deforestation and loss of biodiversity. Efforts are being made to establish timber parks to monitor and control timber exports. Jamaica, illegal mining, particularly for bauxite,
Jamaica.
threatens the cockpit country, a biodiverse rainforest.
You didn't even know
The
there
maroon
was stuff like
communities
that
are
going on
actively
to your
opposing these
favorite vacation
activities,
spot.
citing violations of their ancestral land rights. Illegal logging in the cockpit country has also led to tensions between the maroon communities and the government.
Maroon.
Panama faces issues with illegal mining, particularly in its copper mines. The Supreme Court recently ruled against a major mining
Incredible.
concession, citing environmental and legal concerns. Illegal logging is less prominent, but still a concern. Brazil. Illegal mining in Brazil, especially in the Amazon, has led to deforestation, pollution, and severe health crises among indigenous communities like the Yanomami.
Wow.
Illegal logging in the Amazon is widespread, with significant
Widespread.
environmental and social impacts.
Global impact.
Efforts to combat this include increased enforcement and legal actions against those involved. If you need more details,
Okay, so I'm not talking about the temperature change or anything. Like, I'm talking about people being affected, millions of people being affected by what industry is doing, and it's not doing it in an equitable way. It's, people are taking advantage of people's homeland and their resources there, and claiming it for their own, and then selling it to the open market to folks that don't even realize that what you're buying is based on the blood of other people. But such is life, such is how it goes, and such is capitalism. But one of the things that I look at is that with all of the stuff going on, these things have global effects. So especially when it comes to the trees and things like that, I don't think people realize that a lot of there's a significant amount of pollinated things that come from other countries through way of the ocean, through way of current, and finds its way over here to the States based on how the currents go. And look, let me just ask. So answer me this: what is the effect of pollination and the desert with the Sahara Desert and the United States? How does the relationship work? Oh, it didn't get it. So give me a description on how pollination or pollen goes from the Sahara Desert over the ocean to the United States and pollinates a lot of the world or the planet. Let's see. Am I weird? Am I crazy? I might be weird, but I'm not crazy.
the phenomenon you're referring to involves the transport of Saharan dust
phenomenon.
rather than pollen.
A phenomenon.
Here's how it
and
works.
it's dust.
Saharan dust transport.
Magic dust.
Formation. The Sahara Desert, the largest hot desert in the world, generates massive amounts of dust.
Wow.
This dust is rich in minerals like iron and phosphorus, which are essential nutrients for plants. Liftoff. Strong winds and storms lift the dust particles into the atmosphere.
Isn't that something?
These winds are often part of the trade winds, which blow from east to west across the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, wow.
Journey across the Atlantic. The dust travels thousands of miles across the Atlantic Ocean. This journey can take several days to weeks. The dust plumes are so large that they can be seen from space.
Isn't that
Deposition.
something?
When the dust reaches the Americas, it settles over various regions, including the Caribbean, Central America, South America, and parts of the United States, particularly Florida and Texas. Impact on
Wow.
ecosystems. Nutrient supply. The minerals in the dust act as fertilizers for the Amazon rainforest and other ecosystems.
Isn't that something?
This helps support plant growth and maintain biodiversity. Ocean fertilization. The dust also falls into the ocean, where it provides essential nutrients for phytoplankton, the base of the marine food web. Climate
Let the plankton
influence.
go, we all go.
Saharan dust can influence weather patterns by absorbing and reflecting sunlight, which can affect temperatures and precipitation.
Tried to tell
Health
y'all.
and environmental effects. Air quality. While beneficial for ecosystems, Saharan dust can impact air quality, causing respiratory issues for people, especially those with asthma or other respiratory conditions.
And that's
Visibility.
because we have
The dust can
wrong
create hazy
trees
skies
or
and enhance the
no
colors
male
of
trees.
sunrises and sunsets. This natural process plays a crucial role in connecting ecosystems across continents and supporting life in various regions. If you have more questions,
Okay. So when it comes to, there are some studies or some things that are said that if you don't have the proper trees, or if they're, because they take seeds away from everything nowadays. The governments control seeds and control how you plant in a lot of senses. So a lot of male trees were taken away, which caused over pollination on certain things. and caused an influx of like asthma and other disease, the other infectious things that happen. I used to have asthma, or used to be affected by asthma. So this is one of those things. Let me ask it again, because I know I explained it, but this explains it better. What is the effect of asthma, or how is asthma a secondary effect from not having proper trees or male trees not being involved in the ecosystem? And what was the process of taking male trees out of the ecosystem? Let's see. Let's see what it says. See what it says. Let's see.
Asthma and urban trees. Effects of trees on asthma. Air quality improvement. Trees can improve air quality by absorbing pollutants like nitrogen dioxide, NO2, and particulate matter, PM2.5, which are known to exacerbate asthma. Pollen allergies, however, trees also produce pollen, which can trigger asthma and allergies.
Yep.
Male trees, in particular, produce more pollen, leading to higher pollen counts in urban areas. Urban heat island effect. Trees provide shade and cooling, reducing the urban heat island effect. High temperatures can worsen air pollution, which in turn can aggravate asthma. Impact of male trees. Botanical sexism. The concept of botanical sexism suggests that urban planners have historically favored planting male trees because they don't produce fruit or seeds, which are considered messy. However, male trees produce more pollen, contributing to higher rates of pollen allergies and asthma.
I had a little
pollen production. Male trees release large amounts of pollen, which can lead to increased respiratory issues, including asthma.
Not enough female
Process
trees.
of removing male trees. Urban planning decisions. The preference for male trees in urban planning was driven by the desire to reduce maintenance costs associated with fruit and seed cleanup. This decision inadvertently increased pollen levels. Rebalancing efforts. Some cities are now recognizing the need to balance the planting of male and female trees to reduce pollen levels and improve air quality.
Yeah, which would take
This
away
involves
some of that
planting
asthma
more
issue.
female trees, which do not produce pollen. Summary. The choice of tree species in urban areas has significant implications for air quality and respiratory health.
Now you know.
While trees can improve air quality and reduce the urban heat island effect, the overplanting of male trees has led to increased pollen levels, exacerbating asthma and allergies. Efforts to rebalance the planting of male and female trees are essential for creating healthier urban environments.
There you go. So I had it backwards. So urban planners took away the female trees because they produce the fruit. So the male trees produce more pollen. So when urban planners and all this other stuff was going on, and they were controlling the food supply by taking away the seeded plants and fruits and things and the trees, orange trees, pear trees, apple trees, all the stuff, then the male trees produce more pollen because they have to pollinate the female trees, and then you have an increase in lung issues and asthma, increase in all that stuff. So a lot of the stuff that we deal with is an imbalance of things that should naturally be in balance. And I'm not making it up. I just proved to you. You can ask the internet just like I did, and you can read it for yourself like I have before. But you know, just things like that are interesting, and we should get back to a balance. You know, it doesn't make a lot of common sense, some of the things that we allow to happen and do. But such is life. I've been on for 34 minutes. Let me see. Here we go. Let me try. A little tenderness. We're gonna do that.
Oh, so we all the same, huh?
No, we're gonna do that. Oh yeah, this was interesting to me. I want y'all to hear this. Tell me what y'all
pretend
think.
that I'm the one that paid the down deposit on our house. Let's not pretend that I'm not the one that paid for the Range Rover. Let's not pretend that I'm the one that paid for this whole life.
So, just to give you a synopsis. So this young lady, she's a woman of color. She's a black woman. She's married to a white guy, and she's been on the social media as of late, making these boastful claims that her white guy is better than black guys and all this other stuff, and he's taking care of her. But this right here is showing that he ain't nothing but the same that what she had before, that it wasn't no better. But I'm gonna let it tell on itself. I'm gonna let the video tell on itself, and she's gonna tell you what's going on.
Let's not pretend that. Let's not pretend.
So this situation with this Rena chick who did her best to present to the whole world that the man who she was married to was a knight in shining armor, who was rescuing her from her cheating, broke black ex-male boyfriend, gets much, much worse. As if the recent viral update about their separation isn't enough of a bitter cup of coffee for her to drink. It turns out this chick has been lying this whole time to everybody about her husband paying all the bills. Yeah, drink that shot of coffee. And this is a surprise to everybody.
So I don't understand, and it's not for me to understand, but him not paying the bills or them having whatever agreement they have in their house as a married couple, that's how they have their setup. But if he was supposed to be taking care of something or doing something more than what they agreed upon, then hey, yeah, he messing up, and she shouldn't have put herself out there for them to be seen in a certain light that wasn't really true. But keep listening.
Because when you look at the luxurious lifestyle she tried to portray online, you would think that the man she's married to is some rich guy who is paying her whole lifestyle. But no, it turns out he's living his best soft guy era, while she's the one paying for mostly everything. Drizzle, drizzle. And what's even crazier about this situation is no one had to go digging for this information. No, this chick pretty much had a whole meltdown where she's shitting on her now possibly ex-husband on a live and told the whole world due to her simply just losing her shit.
Did you hear about how this perfect couple influencer revealed that she's the one paying the bills in the relationship?
That's why I pretend that I'm the one that paid the deposit on our house. Let's not pretend that I'm not the one that paid for the Range Rover.
But the context, that's for me, what is the full context? What was the argument about? Social media is just jumping on it like, okay, yes, there was a facade, because social media is a facade, and you just put up these different ideals of what you want people to see you as. But what is the full context? What was the conflict about at first? Why did they even get into this? And then why did it have to get spilled over into social media? So now that a couple that seemingly was doing great, now they look like they're on a decline. So I get what they're saying for the highlights, for the clickbait, for all that, but what was the full context? That's how I look at things.
Pretend that I'm the one that paid for this whole life that we live.
Damn.
Let's not pretend that. Let's not pretend. Let's not pretend. Oh, okay. Let's not pretend. Let's just be very, very real. You told me to put it on live, so I put it on live.
Wow.
So, and then you want to start talking about a glass of wine, and then you want to start saying, oh, are you not going to talk? After I was just sitting here silent before we even got on live. I've been not talking. So what are you talking about? Oh, okay.
Well, this is Raina, and she's a super influencer with millions of followers across
Super influencer.
multiple platforms. She talks about her relationship and how proud she is that her husband came in and saved her after having 2 kids and then becoming a single mom. The interesting part is that she's taking care of this man and their entire family, and I don't see anything wrong with that. What's wrong is the fact that she's lying about it, trying to make him out to be some kind of savior when he's clearly not.
Listen, man, it turns out this story is the pot of coffee that just keeps pouring more and more and more. So one of the things that keeps being mentioned about this whole situation is apparently she didn't even find this man in a good financial situation. The story goes that he was actually living in a basement.
Wow.
Which is why people are making memes like this video with the caption, "White King straight out of the basement. I've been looking in the wrong places for my provider, Queen."
Let's not pretend that I'm the
Wow.
one that paid the deposit on our house. Let's not pretend that I'm not the one that paid for the Range Rover. Let's not pretend that I'm the one that.
So then, I mean, what was she anticipating or expecting from this dude if he wasn't doing well in the first place? If it was just to be a it wasn't for it to be a provider. It's for the dude was like 6'5", so security and strength and support and probably a father figure to her children. But what else are you looking for? You got somebody that doesn't even have the resources to get close to where you are anytime soon. Why are you complaining? What is the argument about? Why are you creating an issue when you knew what you were jumping into when you asked for it? You act to get married. There's a lot of steps to it. Can't just jump into it as if you're blind, because you're lying. You know what you're getting into. You know who you're dealing with. Even if the person is a good liar, you still know pretty much what you're getting into. It's just you choose not to pay attention to the red flags or what you don't want to deal with long term. That's my opinion. Yeah.
For this whole life that we live, let's not pretend that. Let's not pretend.
Now, you may be wondering, Chisha, why you're so happy about this family breaking up. I promise you I'm really not. Am I happy that this chick is drinking coffee? Because before all this, the answer to that is yes, by the way. I'm happy that she's drinking coffee because before all this, she would post a lot of videos trying to taunt Black men. It's one thing to be somebody who says, you know what, I feel appreciated going to this other race and dating outside of my race. No one cares at the end of the day. I don't care. But she went a step further, right? She would post videos like this video with the caption, reminder to take care of your kids or men like us are going to do it for you. Not just her.
That's crazy. I can't deal with too much more of that. This is wild. Not my style of stuff. But I wish you well. I wish you well. What about this? What do you think about this? This is more in the woo. See what you think.
We shall propose further cooperative efforts between all the nations in weather prediction and eventually.
This is President John F. Kennedy, and he said they would propose weather prediction. So we predict the weather now. It's called the Weather Channel, and they tell us what the weather's going to look like in the next 5-6 days. So, okay, yeah, we see that happened. That's something that became reality. So
we shall propose further cooperative efforts between all the nations in weather prediction.
Weather prediction.
And eventually in weather control.
We can control.
Weather control. John F. Kennedy said weather control. Not just prediction, not just what we're doing now with the meteorology and knowing what's going to happen in the next 4 or 5 days. He said control. Let's
actually in weather control.
Weather
we
control.
can control our weather.
Weather modification means, quote, any activity performed with the intention of producing artificial changes in the composition, behavior, or dynamics of the atmosphere, unquote.
Isn't that something? Artificial changes in the dynamics of the weather. I mean, that you throw a little dust in there and tell it to do something different, I guess. I don't know. Some kind of magic bean or something. But
this has not been given very much press, and we have to remember that we have a corporate-owned press where 85% of radio, television, and print media is owned by 5 corporations. And as of April this year, there are more than 150 different weather modification programs around the world.
There's potential for catastrophic weather events on a global scale.
That's interesting. So It's no longer science fiction. It is real. It is stated. It has been stated. And then President Kennedy said that we were going to do it, and we are doing it. So isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? So let's see. I don't know. But I'm about done about that. I've been up, but that's on me. In pain, but that's on me. Got eye problems, but that's on me. But this has been Freedom of. Maybe next time. And look, engage. Don't just sit and watch. Engage. Yeah, I gave y'all the number. Y'all see the number running across the bottom. It's on there. Y'all know you can send a message and all that other stuff. But engage. I'm like this. I've spent a lot of time in my community that I grew up in, Flint, Michigan, trying to do things that I thought was going to cause growth, cause unity, cause people to want to get involved with what I got going on. That shit ain't happening. And I'm tired of it. So I'm not going to continue to try to chase or run after anybody. And when I know the stuff that I'm doing is impactful, that in other regions and other communities that they're looking for someone like myself. They want to support and be a part of the innovative thought process that I have. You know, I love my city. I love being here, but I hate the lack of engagement, the nuance of not believing that you have to assist and help in order to make things grow. The lack of not trying to support or help, or just the doorkeeper mentality that goes on. And you know, it's cool because I'm the type of person that I kick indoors. I get around those barriers. I do what I need to do in order to make things happen. But it's getting old. It's old. It's not getting old. It's old. And growth is inevitable. You know, growth is inevitable. Out of the Mud is doing phenomenal, and it's going to continue to do phenomenal. And we haven't even gotten in the bag yet. We haven't even reached into all of the things that we have written down on paper and the plans that we have, and the different, even some of the interviews that you don't even, that we have not released, that we haven't even told anybody that we've done. And it's just going to be an amazing journey for people to watch, and for those that choose to get involved and to invest to grow. Because we're going to be bigger than Tubi. We're going to be bigger than a lot of these other platforms that are out here. But that's another story, and it's growing every day. This is Georgia Grundy II with Freedom of, and Out of the Mud Universe.